Down the hill into an area that haven't been in probably in about, gonna estimate 2-3 months, and have a look, maybe give some reflection on some of the things from yesterday. That's interesting. Some kind of poo on a stick, literally. And we'll see what we find in here too. But good morning. Today is September 19th. We are out in the local vigilance area today. We are going to do a first off reflecting on some of yesterday. Basically to get out of the house, enjoy the day, do a hike. What I basically did here, and we'll see what was cover ground. Usually the time of year when in the greater Five starts to pick up in here, so we're going to hope for some luck. In the course of doing that, see what we can dig up, and then probably go home. Went first to a pond where we found a trackway last October, and this time around, mainly just moose tracks. And then I worked my way back towards the way back to the Five Bogs. I was kind of to the southwest of the Five Bogs where I started out, and I was working along that way because based on a suspicion that the family unit that I've encountered a couple of times probably wintered last year in a certain valley system that's in that general vicinity. And yesterday when I got to the second pond, I found more moose tracks and that kind of thing, and I went on to a pond called the Southern Bog, and I approached the southeastern corner of it. And in the course of doing that, I was testing out my new binoculars I got, and I believe I was approached by something, and I'm gonna leave it at something because I did not actually see it. I merely heard it. But the point to be made is that I initially started thinking it was basically possibly the wind, but I kept hearing branches like above ground level being broken off by something passing by and falling to the ground. I heard it once, and I kind of wanted to dismiss it as the wind potentially. Went back to the binoculars, heard it a second time, and definitely heard branches and twigs snapping and falling to the ground like something large was coming through the woods. And before everybody starts screaming Bigfoot, my concern was actually more that of a rutting moose, because right now a rutting bull moose is probably the most dangerous animal in the woods. And that easily could have accounted for what I was hearing too. Fast forward about 5 seconds, and I was fumbling to put the binoculars away to focus on my visitor, and I heard one very distinct and definite stomp, and then quiet, leaving me with the impression that whatever was there didn't want to be seen, but did want its presence known. So I moved back towards the ingress that I used to get there to be in a more advantageous position to deal with a potential moose if that's what it was. I didn't end up seeing anything, but it ends up being a weird part of the day. On top of that, on the way out, bear with me as I navigate this little wood pile here. I'm trying to get over to that over there, if that's not clear. Bear with me 1 second. Hopefully that came out all right. You can kind of see a trail cut through here. Hold on. Cut through here, if you can see that. Game trail kind of going out through there. Also possibly a moose, considering we have a couple of moose in the neighborhood here too. But little beaver spike right there. On the way out, however, this is more off in the distance. Something, like a tree falling over or something too. There was a dull thud off in the distance, but the force was enough. I felt it in my feet through the ground. So while we had no sightings of anything yesterday, no track finds, I do think I was approached by, I'm going to leave it at something again. But the point to be made is, give you a quick pan of the area too. If I'm going by gut feeling, I don't understand why a moose would do a simple stomp and then go quiet. I don't find them to usually be that subtle. But without visual confirmation of whatever it was, it's going to be conjecture. But still an interesting day and a good day out. Today, obviously, a different kind of hike because we're a little bit deeper in, and we're going to do a bushwhack, but it's a bushwhack I've done a few times before, so I generally know the way. And basically, all we're doing is following the outline of a couple of wetlands and looking for signs of life and the like. Normally I'd go up the hill to get over the stream, but the stream seems to be dried out, making it kind of a moot point, or just a rock scramble. So, in spite of the sticks wanting to grab my ankle, not really that big a deal this time of year, just go right through. But with any luck today would be so interesting, even though this area's been quiet. Still a nice day to be out though. Gonna have to go up and around on this, around the tree. Noises like that yesterday. But I was listening at that point for, I heard a stomp, that was new, but I was listening for like wood taps or something too and didn't hear any, so. Again, the jury is out on what might have wanted to let me know it was there. But still, interesting. We're running into a situation right now where with extensive summer, this is looking a little different, so let's see how that affects the hike. You got more ferny whatnot going on, so. And this down tree may be new. Ow. But it also gives a handy landmark though. But the trouble with windy days like this is that you get a lot of wind in here and that changes things too. All of this is new. This big thing coming down. You could step right through that too. Yeah, you didn't have as much ferniness last time, so if this is going to make going more troublesome, I might alter my hike. Well, let's... Ah! Like that. Ow. Let's give that a minute. And fuck it. And we're still, how much, we actually are 3 bars. I keep forgetting how much battery life this camera has. I didn't charge it last night, so we're operating on what we started out with, but it's good for about 2 hours. Got probably about 90 minutes on it right now. Trying to work my way around this, but I'm noting a lot more down to crap. So, yeah, there's the stream we cross, which also is dried out, so more like step across. We are going to take a short segment break, though, so I can cover a little ground and assess my injuries here. Okay, we're back. We're into this section again, and going to follow parallel to the wood line and the wetland over here as we make our way through this. If the lovely stuff on the ground stops grabbing at my ankles, that would be nice. But this typically amounts to basically a walk in the woods the day after a good hike in Vermont, just to keep it in your soul, I guess. Lack of a better way of putting it. In spite of the fall and the apparent retweaking of my knee. 3rd effing time in 2 months. But no, it's just like walking through all this damn leaf litter and avoiding this crap. End up dragging half of it with you. So I'm getting jabbed with crap like that. But we're gonna come over to the wetland for a nice little view from this angle. And see what we can see. And kind of give you a look at this. Kind of like it's nice in the fall colors, which are, they almost seem like they're a little early this year for down here. Up in Vermont, I can understand that, but let me back out, please. And don't rip my arm in half. But yeah, they seem a little early this year. Another spot you can see out into the woodland. And bear with me for a second, I gotta switch cameras here. Some kind of bird out there. Getting a couple of through the trees peekaboo shots of the meadow portion of the wetland. And we're going to continue on. And go a little bit up the hill and around all the more debris type stuff. A little more level up here. And up the hill for the sake of fairness too. Kind of a nice semi-piney area where you have it open up a little bit so you can maneuver through here a little bit better. And see what you can see. Right there. I'm going to maneuver to the back side of the wetland over there, and I'm going to take a segment break for a second, as we have some alternating terrain that I have to focus on a little more. Oh, and we're back again. We're at the corner of the wetland, and we're in a muddy spot right here. No obvious tracks, but it was a good place to look. And we're going to take a step out, have a look out on the greater pond area, just to have a look-see at the greater scene. I don't think there's some kind of poo here from, well, actually, let's take a look at that. Hold on. right there. But anyway, we started out on the other side and kind of worked our way around this nice little pond scene here. And if it wasn't as windy as it was, and I had charged the Spark, I'd get the drone in the air over this if I could find a flat spot. But with a Mini, I have it with me, but kind of tight landing with the wind. The wind can move it around more than the Spark, so I'm kind of thinking this is going to be a ground mission today. I'm just looking for any kind of tracks that might be in here. And not really seeing much of any. But nice scene though, little pond in here. One day it'd be nice to get out on that rock over there and do some fishing. Hold on, I might have a track over here though. What's this? Hold on, the camera's not. There you go. Whatever this is. Not really any real definition, but something came in here. If I had to hazard a guess, I would gather probably deer or something similar. But I'm seeing a few tracks now, and I'm thinking this is like probably a little Bambi trail that goes through here. I'm going to come out over on this thing over here and look for more tracks, although all I'm really seeing is Bambi. Why can I keep my balance in this stuff? Probably because mud is sinky and slippery. So there's this too. Not really much of anything in there. So I'm going to take a few, son of a bitch, pictures here. And then I'm going to head back out to the next area. It's quiet out here. I kind of expected it to. Basically a nice walk in the woods kind of a thing. Really nothing more. We're back on the other side of the pond now. I kind of got lazy with the camera for a bit. But kind of just working my way through the terrain to get back up to the trail and move back. And every now and then keeping an eye alert for the odd bear or whatever in here. But as much as I've seen the odd track in here a time or two, I've never actually seen a bear in real time. But crunching through this stuff and talking to myself, I'm probably not the most stealthy presence in here. So if they don't want to deal with me, they can probably smell me or hear me. And as a result, I'm not going to probably be sneaking up on much of anything. Gotta go back over these two. Make crunching noises like that. Everybody in the immediate neighborhood knows you're here. But this is probably as good a spot as any to wrap this up unless something else happens, because right now it's just a quiet day in the woods. And again, partly a follow-up from yesterday's more interesting moments, and just to walk through here to check in with this. This is basically the consistency of the ground. It's basically good old northeastern leaf litter. So you need a muddy spot to really have any chance of finding tracks or anything. So the odd poo sample or something, or if you just happen upon a hair sample of some kind, is blind luck. But we're going to start moving kind of like at a diagonal up this way to move back towards the trail and decide if I'm done for the day or if I'm going to move to another section and check there, because I might do that too. But for this portion of the video, if not the video itself, I'm going to wrap up the segment here.